Hi everyone, today we are going to learn about the function in Python. So the term function itself says that it is, for example, we are having different parts of the body in our, we have, and the different parts, for example, hand, mouth, face, kidney, liver, heart, every different parts of our body is having different functions, which comprises of different sets of rules. For example, heart is responsible to pump the blood. With the help of a hand, we can pick some object, we can write, we can do stuff with our hands. With legs, we can walk, we can go from one place to another, we can kick the ball. These kind of stuff, different functionality of different parts of our body is supposed to be done. Similarly, in function, in Python, function is nothing but the set of rules, which is having a specific task to do. Let's understand it by taking a simple example. Like in Python, function is more like a recipe in a cookbook. So we have seen the recipe book where we are having different menus. For example, the first page is about cooking, baking a cake, and then making a biryani, then making different dishes, for example, idli, and many more things. Every different components or different food is having different procedures to follow. Imagine you have a cookbook which contains of different recipes. Let's take an example that we wanted to cook the chocolate cake. So inside this recipe of the chocolate cake, we are having a set of instructions that we are going to follow, and at the end we will get the chocolate cake. Similarly, whatever be the sets of rules and instruction that we are writing inside the function, we are going to get the output as a result. Similarly, in Python function, we have a calculate sum. Inside it, if you will perform the calculation of two numbers, summation of two number, then it is going to give you the output of sum of two number only. So this is what function is. Now let's understand that how we can create a function and why is there any use of the function also. Okay. So let's switch to this. As we know that with the help of a print function, if I print is a kind of a function, so we are having a built-in functions. One of the built-in function that we have is print. Okay. Print is responsible to print out something which we are writing inside it. Whatever the input that we are giving inside it, the output will be the same. For example, if I will write here, this is a function. Okay. So I'm going to get the output as this is a function only. But what if I want to get 5 lines of this is a function? Okay. In that case, I have to copy this and paste it as many times as I wanted to have the output. In our case, I want 5 times to be written this is a function. In that case, if I will write here, print this is a function 5 times, then I'm going to get 5 times this is a function. But this increases the chance of like reusability of the code. That means every time I'm copying it, pasting it. This is not very tedious right now because only I'm printing 5 this is a function. But what if I want to print this is a function 10,000 times? In that case, I have to copy each and every code. That means I have to copy this print, this is a function, and then I have to paste it in that case it becomes tedious and laborious. That's why we are having the for loop here. Okay. So for example, if I want to print this piece of a code for 5 times, then what I'm going to do that I will write for I in range from 0 to 5. Okay, 5 times. I want to print what? I want to print this is a function. In that case also I'm getting what? This is a function. But just performing the same task inside a combined combination, that means in a contacted form, then we are using the functions. Okay. If I wanted to print this is a function, then it's completely fine. What if I just want to print some other sentence also? Then function came into picture, because it is having some sets of rule or sets of instruction and having different functionalities. Okay. So let's take an example. Suppose I just wanted to create a function, how you are supposed to create. The keyword that we have for function keyword that we have is def. So whenever we are writing def, before writing the code, it means that interpreter will understand, or the compiler will understand, that the user is trying to create a function. Okay. So def is a keyword that we use to initialize our function. Then we write the function name here, function name. Okay. Then inside it, that you have to write what? Small bracket. Inside the small bracket, either you can keep it empty and that's how it becomes the empty function, or you can write any parameter inside it. For example, if I want to print, this is a function. Here, this is a function. Okay. If I will do this, then my function has been created. But in order to call or to print the output of function, I have to call that function name. How am I going to do? I'll write here print. Inside it, I will just copy this function, this entire, and I'll paste it here. Okay, that's how I'm getting what? This is a function. But now, here you can see that other than this is a function, I'm getting none here. I'm getting none here because inside the function, I am writing what? Print. We are using print function to get the output of any input. Whereas in function, wherever we are creating the function to get the output, we are supposed to write what? Return. Whenever we are writing return, in that case, it will execute the same output, but none will be gone. Okay, you can see this. This is a function. So that's how we used to create the function. Now, let's understand that how many types of function do we have. So basically, we have two types of function. First is built-in library function. That one of the function that we have right now have seen it, that is a print function. Okay, we have various built-in functions within the Python that is called the built-in library function, whereas any of the function that we write by our own, okay, by the users, if they are creating according to their use cases, that comes under what? User defined function. Okay, so let's understand some of the built-in functions. Built-in functions. So one is, just now we have seen, is print. Print is a built-in function which is used to get the output of any inputs. Okay, so how it is supposed to be? If I'll write print here, inside it, if I will write inside AIML, then I'm getting what? Output. This is the functionality of this print built-in library or functions. Okay, let's take another built-in functions example. For example, if I'm having a list 1, and inside it I'm having different numbers here. Okay, these are the different numbers that I'm having. If I want to print the length of this list, then we have len as a built-in function. Okay, so what I need to do? Print length of list 1. That's how I'm getting what is the size of this list, that is 4. If I'll keep on increasing this, if I'll write here 10, 20, 90, 99, 88. So I can see that the length is also increasing. So this is nothing. Len is a built-in function that we have in Python. Now, other than that, we are having various built-in functions in Python, like for different like for string we are having different, for list we are having different. For example, in string we are having upper. Upper is a built-in method. Upper is a built-in function. Built-in function. Okay. How it is working? For example, I'm having a name here. Name is equals to, writing here Munira. Okay. Munira. And if I wanted to print it in uppercase, what I'm supposed to do? Name dot upper. Okay. That's how I'm getting the uppercase of my name. Okay. So this kind of a functionality is supposed to be done by the built-in function. Now, the second type of function we have is user-defined function. User-defined function is nothing that can be created by own, that means by ourselves, the users. How am I supposed to do it? That by writing name to it. Okay. Now there is one more thing. That first thing that we are supposed to do is the keyword that we have to write. Keyword. And that keyword is def. Second thing that we have is that we have to mention the name of a function. Name of a function, that too relevant. That too relevant. Okay. For example, if I want to do the sum of two numbers, in that case, I'm going to write the function name as sum of two number. Okay. But at the same time, the function name should not start with the number. Should not start with the number or symbols, special symbols. Okay. So how am I supposed to do it? For example, I'm writing a function def sum of two numbers. Okay. Now, I wanted to write inside it. I will take I will store it in the variable taking the number 77 plus 78. Then I will do what? I will return sums, the variable in which I have stored the sum of two numbers. Okay. Then I will call that function, call the function. How am I supposed to do it? All you need to do is what? Just copy this part till the small bracket. Right here, print. Inside, you just pass this name of a function. If you will run this cell, you will get the sum of two numbers that is mentioned over here. That's how we are supposed to do the sum of two numbers. Okay. Now the question arises that if I wanted to pass the parameter, okay, if I want to pass the parameter, then how am I supposed to do it? Here, I'm explicitly putting the number here, number 1 and number 2, and that's how I'm getting the output. Whereas if I want to get the parameter, or if I want the user to enter it, then how am I supposed to do it? With the help of this. First thing you have to write is function keyword def, then function name you have to specify, and the parameter which you wanted to pass inside it, and then you will return that expression. That's it. So let's understand here. Okay, I'm having started a function by writing def sum of two numbers. Okay, so this is nothing but called as the camel case. Why it is calling as camel case? Because the first character of every word is capital letter. Hence, it is called as camel case. In such a way, you can write the function name. At the same time, you can write the function name like this also by mentioning the underscore in between. so that it will be more readable to you. Okay. Now the next is that in the small bracket, you are supposed to pass the parameter. I just wanted to do the sum of two numbers. So I will ask for number 1 and the number 2 from the user. Okay. Then what I will do? I will do the sum of two number, num1 plus number 2, and I will store it in the sums variable. Then I will return this sums here. That's how we have created the function. Now, if I want to call the function, okay? How am I supposed to do? I'll just copy this part, okay? And I will paste it here. By writing print, inside the print, I'm going to paste it here. But after just executing this piece of a code, I'm getting an error, that is the name error. Name error means I haven't initialized this num1 and there is no num1 kind of a variable present here. So why am I even calling it? To do so, what I'm supposed to do is that I have to initialize here num1 is equals to 56, let's say. Then num2 as well, 89. That's how it is going to take. Num1 56 will go here, num2 89 will go here. Okay, that's how I'm going to get the sum of two numbers. This is the one way. First, this is the one way. Now the second thing that I can do here is that I can write print. I will pass the parameter. Instead of num1, I will write what? 56. Instead of num2, I will write 89. I will get the same result here, 145, 145. So in order to pass the parameter to the function, we have two methods. First is by explicitly writing the function name over here and then passing, then eventually the function will call this and it will take this parameter. The second method is that we can explicitly put the numbers over here. Third more thing that I can get out of it is that how many Python function arguments do we have? Okay. So when we are talking about the arguments is nothing but the parameter they are talking about. So arguments are the values or parameters that passed inside the parenthesis of the function. Inside the parenthesis, that means small bracket, the value inserted inside it is nothing but the arguments. Okay. A function can have any number of arguments that is separated by a comma. How? For example, I'm writing here print the name, print name. Okay. And I'm taking here what all name? Let's say name 1, name 2, name 3, and so on I can take. And then return name 1, name 2, and name 3. That's how I have created the function's name. This is how we create the function. Now, if I will print and I'll write this print name and I'll copy this inside it, I'll paste and I'll write here, for example, Ajay, Mohini, Shalini. Okay. From passing 3 parameters. Because it is asking for 3 parameters only, so we have to mention the parameter only in the same number. Order doesn't matter. Okay. Here you can see that you are getting a tuple of the name. So these are nothing but the arguments that we pass inside the parenthesis of a function. Okay. And function can have n number of arguments or n number of parameters. All you need to do is what? Just enter a comma in between and you can keep on increasing, or you can add the name or the value to the function. Okay. Now the next thing that we have here is types of a function, Python function argument that we have. So we have 4 types of a function. First First is the default argument. Second is the keyword argument. Third is the positional arguments, and fourth is the arbitrary arguments. Okay. So let's first default argument. Okay. The name itself says that it can take the default argument. That means whatever the argument that you are going to pass inside it, it is going to take it. Okay. That is called the default arguments. For example, if I will just write it over here, inside that, just assume a default value if a value is not provided in the function call for that argument. For example, let's give you one example. Let's be, I'm creating a function and inside it, I'm just writing what? Full name. Okay, full name here. And I'm going to pass what? First name. And here I'm passing what? Last name. So the first name is what? Is an argument that we are supposed to take from the user. Whereas by default, I'm going to pass here one name. Let's say Sharma. Okay. I'm writing here Sharma. This is the default argument that I'm passing to the function. Now, if I will return here what? My name is, my first name is, and I'm going to pass here what? F for format. Okay. Here I'm going to pass what? First underscore name, and my last name is, here I'm going to pass what? Last underscore name. Okay. This is what I have created a function. Now, all I need to do is that I will just copy this default, I will copy this function and I will write here what? Print. Inside it, I'm going to pass this. It is looking for only one parameter from my end, and that is nothing but Ajay. Let's say Rajat, because one value I have already assigned to this function, that is by default Sharma. Okay. Now, if I will run this, you can see here my first name is Rajat and my last name is Sharma. I can change this name. I can write here Ajay as well. In that case, it will become my first name is Ajay and my last name is Sharma. This is nothing but the default argument that we are passing here to the function. But there is one more catch here. You cannot assign this. This is an alert kind of a thing, alert. You cannot assign a default function argument, functional argument at the first, as the first argument, Let me show you that also. Let's copy this again. And if I'll paste it here, instead of last name, I will provide what? First name as, let's say, Ajay. Okay, I have provided this. And if I'll run this code, you can see here that there is a syntax error. What syntax error it is saying? Non-default argument. This is a default argument. This is a non-default argument. What it is saying? Non-default arguments follow the default arguments. That means you are not supposed to put the default argument at first place, but you can pass it here. Position doesn't matter. If I wanted to get rid of this error, what am I going to do? I'll pass this last name here, first name like this, and I will run this. Here you can see that you are getting exactly, you have get rid of the error here. Okay, if you will write here full name, okay, and inside it you are going to pass the last name, okay, someone's last name. For example, here I'm passing Sharma. Okay, so I can get here my first name is Ajay and my last name is Sharma. So that's how we are supposed to pass the default argument. These are the two ways in which we can pass the default arguments. Okay. Now the next is that we are having the keyword arguments. Okay. Next we are having what? Keyword argument. Now the keyword argument, the idea is to allow the caller to specify the argument name with values so that the caller does not need to remember the order of parameters. Okay. So what does it mean is that previously we have created the default argument by passing to the function directly. For example, here I'm writing the full name here. Okay. And I'm passing here what? First name, comma, last name. Okay. And if I want to return here, F, my first name is, here I'm going to pass what? First name and last name is this last underscore name. Okay. If I'm going to pass this is nothing but a normal kind of like normal demonstration of the keyword argument. Okay. This is nothing but the demonstration of keyword argument. That means the keyword argument that I'm going to pass here is how that I will call this function full name. Okay. I will just call this function. I'll write here print. Okay. And I'll print here. First name I'm going to assign here as, let's say, Meera. And the last name which I'm going to assign here is Fatima. Okay. This is nothing but this is what your keyword argument. This is what your keyword argument. So that you can get rid of positions. Okay. Done. If I will print this one, my name is Munira and my first name is Munira and last name is Fatima here. Okay. What if I will just switch the parameters here? What if I'll just copy this and I'll pass it here and I will change the position of it. First name. Okay. This is the first name. I'm pasting here. Done. If I will run this, despite of the position change in the keyword argument, positional change, we are not getting any error over here. Whereas in the default argument, when I was changing the position of the default arguments, that means when I'm switching the position of the last name first and the first name last, at that case, we are getting what? An error where it is saying that non-default argument will follows the default arguments. Okay. But to solve that problem, we have the keyword argument here. Done. Now the next thing that we have is positional argument. The word positional argument says that we use the positional argument during the function call so that the first argument or value is assigned to name and the second argument or value is assigned to age. Okay. So let's take the example for the same. Let's create one function over here. Let's create one function. Function name is name and age, let's say. Okay. And I want two parameter, name and age from the user. Okay. And I just wanted to return here is what? I just wanted to return here let's say hi, I am name I'm going to pass here. Okay, done. And not like this inside it. And my age is inside it. I'm going to pass age here. Okay. Now what will happen? What will happen here? That once I have created here what? The function that is positional argument. how am I going to take is that first, just this is the first scenario. Okay. If I will print here name, age, okay, and I will pass it here and I will write here Meera, okay, and the age is 24 here. Clear? So I'm going to get very good result. Hi, I am Meera and my age is 24. But what if I will just swap the value here? Okay, I will write here print. I will write name, age. First, I will pass 24. Then I will write Meera here. Okay. In that case, I'm going to get the wrong output. That means, hi, I am 24 and my age is Meera. This is completely wrong. That's how to just get the exact value. This is called nothing but the positional argument. It depends upon the function that you wanted to create. So in this function, I just wanted to have first what name, and then I want the age. Okay. But since I have, in the first case, I have passed the right parameter. So I'm getting the right output. Whereas in the second scenario, I'm passing the age first and then the name. Hence, my output got changed. To just get rid of this problem, we have the keyword argument, where we are going to explicitly pass the parameter to the value to the parameters or the function argument. Okay. Now the next that we have is arbitrary keyword argument. Okay. So what do we understand by the arbitrary keyword argument is that in Python, arbitrary keyword argument starts with two. It's arg and keyword args. Here you can see that args is nothing but non-keyword arguments and star keyword argument in Python. Let me explain you in detail about the same. Okay. So the very first thing is that we have seen that, let's say I'm creating, I'm just having this parameter. Okay, just copy this and I'll paste it here. I'm having the name age over here, name and age I'm looking for. Okay, copy this, run this cell. If I will print here name, age, inside it I'm going to pass the parameter like Meera and the age is 24 here. It is completely fine. But what if I will pass here the designation as well, data scientist, okay? If I will pass this designation over here, in that case, it will give me what? An error. What error it is giving? Type error. That means name age function has two positional arguments. These are the two positional arguments that we have. But I have put what? Three positional arguments or the value over here. Okay. So in function, it is, if we are not having the arbitrary keyword argument, then by default, it is going to only entertain only those number of parameters which is mentioned over here. For example, here we are having only two parameters that we are looking for the users, name and age. So I'm only supposed to pass two parameters, name and age. This is not, I don't have to share this. Done. But whenever we are creating the function, which is, not determined that how many parameters are we looking for from the users, in that case, arbitrary keyword argument came into picture. Okay. So the first is that the arg. Second is keyword arg, KW args. Okay. Let's understand that what is the difference between the args and the keyword args. So the very first difference, let's first understand the star args. Okay. Let's treat this args as tuple. That's it. For example, if I'm creating a function over here, okay, function, and writing the name of function as func, inside it, I'm passing what? Args. Star args. Okay. And returning what? Return args. The only specification it has is the star only. I can change the name also. It is not going to have any problem with it. But the star itself mentioned that treat it as a tuple. That means you can add n number of parameters inside it, despite of the constraint. Let's understand this. Okay. And then I'm going to call my function. I will print here what? My function, my func. Inside it, I'm going to pass the different parameters. Let's say 10, 20, 30, 90, 99, 89. These are the different parameters that I'm passing here. Okay. If I will print here, I'm getting this. Okay. Let's take an example. I just wanted the sum of these parameters. How am I going to do it? I will write here def my, let's say I'm writing new function, and here I'm passing what args here. Okay. Now, as I told you that treat it like a tuple. So what I can do with the tuple, all the things I can do here also. Let's traverse it. Let's say I'm writing for loop for value in args. Okay. You are not supposed to mention star here, only args. This is the name of the variable. You can change also. Let's say I'm writing here, let's say name I'm writing here, or let's say I'm writing here the numbers. I'm writing here numbers. Okay. All you need to do is what? Change this parameter to numbers. Okay. And then I just wanted to have the sum of these two. Okay. Sum of these two. So what I'm going to have, let's have the sums is a parameter which is having 0 value here. By every iteration of this, it is going to sum it up. So how am I supposed to do? Sums plus equals to value. Okay. And then I will do what? I will return here sums. Okay. Now let's again print this. I'll just pass this here, and I'll change the function name as a new function here. Okay. And let's change the parameter also 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. As you can see that 10 plus 20, 30, 30 plus 30, 60, 60 plus 40, 100. So the output should be what? 100 that we are getting. So here we can understand this, that arg is nothing but a something. You can treat it like a tuple, and you can pass the n number of parameters. These are the constraints that we were getting when we were dealing with what? Positional argument, keyword argument, and default argument. So now in the arbitrary argument, that to the arg in Python, we are getting this privilege. Okay. So since we are having this, why do we then introduce the second arbitrary, that is the keyword arguments? Okay. So now the solution, now the second thing that we have is keyword arguments. Okay. Let's understand what the keyword argument is. Start with 2 star keyword args arguments. Okay. What is the specialization of it is like? Treat it like a dictionary. Treat it like a dictionary. So whatever these stuff that you used to do with the dictionary, you can do it with it. Okay. So suppose we are having a function, my function. Okay. My function I'm writing here. Inside it, I am writing what? Keyword arguments. Star keyword arguments. Done. And I just wanted to return here keyword arguments only. Let's call the function, okay. Just to call the function, what I'm going to write here is just, I will copy this my function, okay, and I will print here this my function. Inside it, I'm going to pass my parameters, okay. But that parameter is going to be the keyword arguments. Here, we have seen what? We have passed the positional arguments here. Just in the above section, we have seen now that this is the position. This is how we are supposed to pass the parameter. And this way is nothing but the positional argument. Whereas in the keyword argument, you are supposed to pass the parameter in such a way. That means first you have to specify the name of the argument or variable, then you have to provide the value to it. Okay. Similarly, here in keyword argument is basically entertained to provide you the n number of parameters in one go, whereas keyword argument is responsible to put those parameters but assigning to some variables. Let's understand this. Okay. For example, here I'm having a is equals to 2, and then b is equals to 3, and then c equals to 5. These are the different parameters which I have. Okay. That's how we are supposed to create the keyword argument. As you can see that it is giving me what? A dictionary here as an argument, as an output. Similarly, here I have told that treat args as what? Tuple. So whatever the parameter I'm passing here inside it, it is giving me, it is taking that parameter as a tuple. Whereas in keyword argument, it is taking these parameter keyword argument as a dictionary. So I can do any kind of a manipulation over here. For example, whatever the in the dictionary we have dot items, just to print the key and the value pair. Okay. Similarly, I can do here. Let's see how. New functions. Function I'm writing here. Okay. And I'm passing. It is not mandatory to pass this name keyword argument here. You can write your name also. For example, I'm writing here name. Okay. And I just want to return what? Okay. So since it is having what? It is having the dictionary. So this is nothing but a key, and this is what? A value. Okay. Let's say I just wanted to traverse this dictionary. So for key, comma, val in what? In name dot items. Name is nothing but my keyword argument here is. Okay. And if I wanted to return, or if I want to print here key, comma, value, key, comma, val. So that's how I am supposed to do. Now, to call the function, all I need to do is what? I'll just copy this function name. I'll paste it here inside the print. Okay. And then further, I'm going to pass the value to it. Okay. So let's say I'm writing here what? Name1 equals to is equals to Aman. Okay. Name 2 equals to Mahima. Okay. I'm having name 3 is equals to Meera, let's say. Okay. These are the names that I have. What I'm getting? Name 1, name 2, name 3, Aman, Mahima, and Munira. Okay. So this is how we are supposed to, since I'm getting what? None here because of the print. If I'll do this, what I'm getting? Okay, just give me a second. If I will print here, what? Key, comma, val. So I will get what? All my values here, name and value here. So this is how we are supposed to use the keyword argument in the, and this is nothing but the arbitrary argument that we have. Okay, this comes under arbitrary keyword arguments. It is useful when you want to pass the n number of parameters in one go. Okay, now the next thing that we have here is that since I can treat it like a dictionary, so what I can do here, like def, I'm writing, let's say take the same example, okay, and I just wanted to access those values. Or yeah, I just wanted to access those values. So how am I supposed to do? Let's say I'm passing a value to it. Okay, def sum of numbers. Okay, I'm passing here. All I'm writing is what? Keyword, I say keyword arguments. Okay, and I will return what? I will return here keyword arguments. Inside it, I'm going to pass what? My A. I'm going to pass, and then, okay, and then I will write what? Just give me a second. Okay. If I will pass here B, and then this will be what? C. These are the value of D. Okay. We are having this. And if I will call the function here, okay, and I will do what? Print sum of numbers. Inside it, I'm going to pass the parameter as A equals to 5. Suppose I'm not passing B here, I'm passing C is equals to 10, and then I'm passing B is equals to 15, and then I'm passing D equals to 20. Okay. Since I have changed the position, but still it is not going to have any impact on the output because this is a keyword argument. Keyword argument is not influenced by the positions. Okay, let's run this. Here you can see that I'm getting the sum of all those numbers. 20 plus 15, 35. 35 plus 10, 45. 45 plus 5, 50. So that's how we used to access the keyword argument. Okay. Now, the next topic that we have is the Python function within function. Okay. Function within function is nothing but writing the nested function. Okay. How am I supposed to do it? Let's take an example. Let's create one function, and I'm writing the function name as a country. Okay. This is an empty function I'm writing. Okay. And I'm making a statement, I'm making a statement. And in that statement, I am saying, I love my country. I love my country. Okay. Now inside it, I'm writing another function. Okay. That function I'm writing as, let's say, state. Okay. And I am returning here what? Return, I live in Delhi. Okay, I live in Delhi. Done. Now, to run this particular function, I have to call it. So once my first function is created, beneath that, I'm going to call this function. How am I supposed to call it? Just copy it and paste it over here. That's how it gets called. If I wanted to call the entire function, that what I'm supposed to do, get out of it and then print what? This function. If I will copy this and without writing the print function also, if I will paste it here, okay, and I will write here what? Print, okay, print this. So in that case, I'm getting what? None here. Okay, what if I'll just return here one more thing is that statement I just wanted to return here. Okay, because I have stored this inside the statement, I love my country. If I will run this, just give me a second. I think there's a kernel issue. Okay. So what I have done that I have created a function called named as country. Then beneath that I have created a variable, local variable, which is I love my country. And then I have created a function named as state, returning that statement, which is from here. Now I call this function because I have created here. I have to call it first, and then I will call what? The actual function that I have. Okay, let's do it here then. If I will print here country, okay. why, okay, if I will print here, let's take this example. If I will print here the statement only, then, okay, then I'm getting I love my country here. Okay. So now the point is that in the nested function is nothing but writing the function inside the function. For example, when we are writing the nested for loop, okay, how we are doing it? We are creating one for I in range from 0 to 3. Okay, that means three times it is going to run. Now for j in range from 1 to 5. Okay, so it is what it is going to do. If I print I comma j, it will do what? For 0, it is going to take 1 and a 5. From 1 to 5, it is going to, from 1 to 4, it because 5 is explicit. And that means we cannot excluded this part is. Okay. So that's why first it take with the 0, and then then second it take with the 1, and then with the 2. That's how we are creating the nested loop. For loop, inside for loop, we are having another for loop. This is called nested for loop. Similarly, we are having the nested function, that is function within function. And that's how we are supposed to create, and that's how we are supposed to call the functions. Okay. Now the next topic that we have here, let's take one more example for the nested function. Okay. Since I have taken only one function within the another function, let's take one more function. And this time I'm going to create two functions inside it. Okay. So let's take one example. We have the restaurant. Okay. Inside that restaurant, I'm having what? Two categories of people. First is male and another is female. Okay. So I'm writing what? Writing a function for a male. Okay. And here, what I'm going to do, I will print here I am male. Okay. And then I will print what? I wear t-shirts and pants. Okay. Then I am going to create what? Another function. Since I have created here the function, so at the same time I have to call that also. So here I'm doing what? Calling the male function. Okay. Now I will create another function name as the female. Okay. Female is a function. And here I'm going to print what? I am female. Okay. And then I will print here I wear the skirt and shirt. Okay. Skirt and shirt. Done. Since my female function has been created here, so I have to call it also here. So what I will do, I will call here my function, female function. I'm done with the nested function. Now, finally, what I'm going to do, I will call my final function, and that is nothing but the restaurant. Here I'm going to paste it. Okay. And I'm getting the output here. I am male, I wear t-shirt and pant. I am female, I wear shirt and skirt and shirt here. Okay. Now the next topic that we have is anonymous function in Python. The name itself says that it is a hidden kind of. Anonymous means hidden, unseen. Okay. So in Python, an anonymous function means that a function that is without a name. Okay. For that, we are using the lambda function. Okay. So Python code to do the to initialize or to work on the anonymous function in Python, what we need to do, let's take one example. If I want to create my function, okay. So what I'm supposed to do, generally I'm writing, for example, I want the square of two numbers. So just writing here square, okay. And the number is what? X is a number, okay, I have. And then I just want what? Return X into X, square of two number. Here I will print what? Square. And inside it, I'm going to pass one number, that is 5. Let's say, so I'm getting square of 5 is what? 25 here. Same code can be written in one line also. How am I supposed to do? Def square, then I'm supposed to pass what? X here, okay, colon, and I want to return what? I want to return X into X here. Done. I have created this function. Now I will print what? Square here, and inside it I'm going to pass what? My parameter 5, getting 25. This is nothing but one line function. This is one line function. Whereas when we are talking, this is the traditional function that we are creating in the traditional way. Whereas in the anonymous function, the name itself says that it is not having any name, without any name. How am I supposed to do is that, suppose I want to create the same square kind of a function. Okay, so I'm going to write here what? The square variable. This is the variable in which I'm going to write the function. All you need to do is what? Lambda only. Just write the lambda. What output you want? I want X here, semicolon. What operation you wanted to do? I wanted to do the square of these two numbers, X into X. That's it. Okay. Now what you need to do is that here, since I have created my function here, that is, this is nothing but the anonymous function. Anonymous function. Okay, anonymous function. How am I supposed to call it? In the same way, the square, var, and then small bracket, the number which you wanted to pass. 5, I'm getting 25 here. Okay, so that's how we are creating what? Anonymous function. First, we are passing the output, the return, the thing which we wanted to return here, the operation that we wanted to do here. Okay, let's take another example. Suppose I just wanted to do the cube of a number. Okay, so cube, let's say I have created what? A variable named cube, writing lambda. Okay, writing what? X here. You can write y also, or you can write num also, number. Okay, what I want to do? Number power 3. This double star stands for what? Power 3. My function has been created. Now what I will do? Print here. I will write here cube. Inside it, I'm going to pass the number. Cube of 5 is 125. What I'm getting? 125 here. That's how we are creating the anonymous function in Python. Now the next topic that we are going to learn is the passing list, tuple, dictionary, string, set inside a function. Okay, so the traditional way of writing the function is that first we write the keyword of the function, then the name of the function. So here I just wanted to pass what? Pass list here. Okay, and I'm passing here the let's say fruits, writing a variable name fruits here. Okay, and I just wanted to return what? Fruits here. Fruits here. That's it. Now to call that function, I'm going to pass what? Print pass underscore list here, the same name, and I will pass what? List. The first mango, apple here, then banana. Okay, so this is what my list is. If I will run this, what I'm getting? A list. So that's how we are supposed to pass the list to a function. Similarly, we can pass the tuple, dictionary, string, and set also. Okay, let's take an example, just copying the same. Okay, pass the tuple. I just wanted to pass the tuple here. Tuple of what? Let's say food items or stationary items. Stationary items. Okay, and I just wanted to stationary. Okay, here what I'm doing, I'm going to pass my, just change this with tuple. Inside it, I'm going to pass what? My tuple. Let's create here one stationary. There is a two-way. So the second way I'm telling you, stationary, just write down the tuple here. So let's say pen here, then pencil, copy. Let's say copy in writing. Okay. all I need to pass here what? Stationary variable, the same variable. I will get the output as a tuple here. Similarly, I can do with the dictionary also. Let's say I'm having a pass dictionary of what? Students. Okay. So I'm just asking for the students detail here, and you want to return what? Students. Okay. Now the dictionary that I'm going to make, student details is equals to big bracket here. First, let's say roll number, or I can say 1. Let's say Mohan. Okay. Second roll number is Sohan. Third roll number that I have is Rima. Okay. These are the 3 students that we have. Then in order to pass the or to call this function, all I need to do is what? Just copy this. Okay. Copy this function name, paste it here, and then pass the parameter where you have passed the dictionary. Just copy this parameter, paste it here, and that's how you're getting what? The dictionary of a student. Okay. Now the fourth thing that I wanted to pass is a string in a set inside the function. Okay. So let's write here. I just wanted to print, I wanted to take the string from the, let's say essay. Essay is the string that I want from the candidate, and I just wanted to what? Return the string here. Okay. And what I will do the print here statement essay. Inside it, I'm going to pass I love my country because it is having diversity. Okay. This is how am I supposed to do. That's it. That's how I'm getting what? My string output. The last thing is that set. Set is something that doesn't entertain duplicates. Okay. So how am I supposed to do? Def. Let's pass the set here. What I want, sets. Okay. And I just wanted to return what? Sets here. Okay. And if I will print here, pass underscore set. Okay. And then inside it, I'm passing what? Set. Set start with curly bracket. Dictionary also starts with curly bracket, but in dictionary we have key value pair. Whereas in sets, we have only curly bracket and it is not going to have the duplicate values in it. For example, 10, 20, 30. Again, I'm going to pass 20 or 10. Then it is not going to print the 20 and 10 2 times, but it will take only 1 time. Here you can see it 10, 20, 30 as an output. Okay. So this is the brief about the function. That what is function? Function is nothing but having different sets of instruction or the functionality depending upon the use case. In the very first of this session, we have seen that the different parts of our body is having different functionalities. For example, hands are responsible for different tasks, whereas legs are responsible for different tasks. Mouth is responsible for different tasks. So every different part of our body is having different functionalities. Similarly, we are going to write a piece of a code in different functionality using the functions. And that's why we are having the function in Python. Python function is nothing but the block of a statement that returns the specific task. It increases the code readability, and we can reuse it in multiple times, in multiple scenarios. Okay. Now let's see this. Okay, so this is what function we have seen. We have seen one example for the same, that let's say I'm having a recipe book, and that recipe book consists of what? Chocolate cake. So we as a person, for example, if I don't know that how to cook or how to bake a chocolate cake, all I need to do is what? Just go to that recipe book, read all those instructions, follow that, blend the combination, and the output which I'm going to get is what? Chocolate cake only. This is what the task of the function. Whatever the input that you give, whatever the output that you are expecting, it is going to give you the same. How am I supposed to create a function? You need to write the def keyword, name of that function. This is an empty function because you're not passing any parameter inside it, and then returning the output. Okay, so this function is going to give you what? My function, and print will what? Hello from a function. How we are calling a function? Just by writing the name of this function, which is nothing but my function. Writing here, I will get the output as what? Hello from a function. Arguments. What do you understand by the arguments? Arguments are the specified after the function name. Here, f name is nothing but an argument that is passed to this my function. Okay. So every time for different arguments, I'm going to get the different outputs. For example, for the first ml plus refness. Okay. Then Tobias refness. Linus refness will be the third output. Number of arguments that we can pass depends upon us. Okay. As much we keep on increasing the arguments, that number of arguments we have to pass while calling the function. For example, here we are asking for 2 user input or arguments. We are passing 2 arguments here. Okay. If you wanted to pass the multiple arguments in one go without thinking about the same, you have one option for the same, and that is arbitrary argument. We have 2 arbitrary arguments. First is star args, which we treat it as a tuple, whereas keyword args, we treat it as a dictionary. So here in this example, you can see that we are having the function as a kid. The youngest child is kid 2. So at the second index of this tuple, that means first 0th index, first index, second index. Second index is what? Linus. So the youngest child is Linus, is the output of the same. Keyword argument, whereas in the arg argument, in the arbitrary argument, you can see that if we can change the position, then the parameter will also get changed. What if I will just switch these arguments? For example, I will switch ML here and Linus here. In that case, the youngest child is ML will become. Okay, so this is nothing but the positional argument that we are talking about. So args, arbitrary arguments, entertain the positional arguments, whereas the keyword argument, arbitrary keyword argument, entertains what? Keyword argument. That means specifically we are passing what? We are passing what? We are passing the value to the parameters or the argument. Position doesn't matter. Here, as you can see that we are having child 1, 2, 3. Okay, positions are not in the same sequence. Here I'm having child 1, child 2, child 3. Okay, so the youngest child is child 3. Here I'm having Linux. Despite of the changing of the position, I'm not going to have the different output. Whereas this scenario was there in the args argument. Okay. So that's how we are done with the function. These are the different types of function and how we can create the function. All the topic has been covered.